All right, so last lesson is the order of operations. We all know the order of operations. Piece of cake, no sweat. Life is easy, life is grand. Follow this order inside of grouping symbols, or when no grouping symbols are present. Order of operations. So we all remember, first thing you want to do is exponents. All right, what's next? Multiplication and or division from left to right. Actually, I should have said and or, because either one, right? You're starting in the left, going to the right, whichever you come to first. Multiplication or division, whichever one, do it. Continue left to right. And then finally, of course, addition and or subtraction. You can write the words in if you want, but that's the point. Order of operations. We've got to be careful to follow it. It really comes into play in numerous problems. It's always got to be on your mind. We just did some exponent rule problems. We could have added some addition in with multiplication, at which point you had to think about the order of operations and what you would do first. There were some exponents involved. We should have been doing them first. Most of the problems had only exponents involved, and therefore we did deal with them. So you have to be careful. All right, and of course we know with the grouping symbol kind of thing, excuse me, if grouping symbols are present, you got to work in the innermost grouping symbol first, right? Sometimes there's not an innermost, but again, if they need to use grouping symbols, the builder of the problem would first use a parentheses. If they needed another further grouping symbol outside of the parentheses, they would use the bracket. And if they needed another further grouping symbol, they would use a brace. It is possible to have one piece of a problem with parentheses and a further piece down the road with parentheses. Well, again, work in one and simplify them. Go work to the other parentheses and simplify. And you just follow the same kind of order. Not a problem. These aren't hard, except if you get out of order. If you get out of order, you are out of order. You will be in contempt of court, and the math judge will fine you. All right, so why don't you try A? Right, I'm going to pause the video so it doesn't keep running. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to do the 8 first, right? Now your exponents are gone. And when you start hunting for multiplication or division, you got to do this division. You have to. So let me rewrite where we're at. 3 plus 8 minus 5 times 5, right? And now this is a 25. 3 and 8 is 11. 11 positives and 25 negatives leaves you 14 negatives, right? How many got that correct? Awesome. You guys are great. Easy, easy. All right, try B. Try B. Try B. All right, is it bigger than 50 or less than 50? Less. Okay. 30? 20? All right, what is that? Cubed, is that an 8? Ones are boring. That's a 1. That's a 9. Okay, so multiplication, that's a 20. Division, that's a 3. All right, where am I at? 8 minus 1 plus 20 minus 9 plus 3. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 and 20 is 27. 27 minus 9 is 18. 18 and 3 is 21. How many are 21? You're not 21. All right, come now. All right, let's try C. Sorry about that, Esther. Raquel. She was doing that for a while, and it just didn't click earlier that she's giving me the tissue symbol. All right, try C. All right. So that's a 9. You went in your parentheses first. And that's a 1. And technically, if you're going to do this problem correctly, you're going to be there. But I just looked at it, and by some, this is like, it. This doesn't happen like 1 in 8 million zillion times. But actually, if you do it wrong, you get the right answer. You end up with 6 times 1, which is still 6. But I'm telling you, that will be the only case where that will work. It isn't supposed to happen that way, and it normally doesn't happen that way. It just so happened it's that way. All right, so even if you did it wrong, you would have gotten a 6 on this. But I'm telling you, that's 1 in a million that you could violate the order of operations and get it right. Because the -2 is multiplication, right? Times the 1, and you got to do the multiplication before you do the 8 minus 6 addition, or 8 minus 2 addition. So be careful, don't violate. And again, I make them up off the top of my head, and obviously that one was weird. Just to prove my point, you don't need to write this in your notes. Hey, let's suppose you end up with a 3 inside the parentheses. Then you end up with 8 minus 6, and the answer would be 2. Do it the other way. 6 times 3 is 18. It's not 2. So again, this is 1 in a million that it worked by doing it the wrong way. So don't do it the wrong way. All right. Try D, peoples. Try D. I'm going to pause. Try D. So let's go back and take a look at that. This would be 8 minus 20 plus 6. 8 minus 20 plus 6. Right? Is that a... No, that's a... Okay. Timeout. That's a 9. All right. I'm thinking, why is this turning out wrong? Okay, so this is still a 9. This is 8 minus 20 plus 18. Right? And again, that's a 26. Right? You okay, Alexandra? All right. There we go. Okay. D. Is your answer positive or negative? I got a negative. Is the value of the number bigger than 10 or less than 10? 8. 5. 2. That is the ballpark. All right, what do we got? We got a 7 there. We got an 11 there. We got an 8 there. So the top is a 16. And the bottom is a -4. And it looks like it's -4, right? Andrew? 7 positives and 11 negatives. 7 positives and 11 negatives. How many got that one correct? Yeah. All right, the grand finale. See what you can do with the grand finale. Very good. You guys are awesome. Okay, so again, 5 inside. And then 4 and 5 is the 9. The 2 squared is the 4. All right, so now I'm inside the brace, and I'm looking for multiplication and division. So that is a -12 plus the 9 inside the braces, right? So therefore, inside is a -3. Yes. Gosh. So how about 14? Anybody concur? Yes, ma'am. It's very good. You need about 10 seconds and it'll be perfect. So are you taking the 8th or 7th? 8th grade? Okay. So in a minute, 8th grade, we're going to get you out of here. Again, that's the progression. Homework is at the bottom of the page, so you guys got it. In 8th grade, you're off. Andrew? Go ahead. Go ahead.